What's the most amazing thing about the universe? That in the grand scheme of things we are all immortal. Our organic cells will die, our consciousness will cease, and we will no longer be able to directly observe existence, but the atoms that make up our bodies will simply be new compounds. And if energy is neither created nor destroyed, if our atoms continue to be, we will eventually make up the building blocks of new compounds. Pieces of us will watch the sun swallow up Mercury and Venus. Pieces of us will watch supernovae and black holes and all sorts of cosmic phenomena. Perhaps even one day our atoms will return to a nebula, and the cycle will begin again. A new star is formed, new planets begin to orbit it, liquid water forms on a small green rock orbiting this star, and an intelligent species evolves to travel to marvel at the wonders of our universe. One of my favorite shows is Battlestar Galactica, and one of the quotes that stuck out to me was, "All of this has happened before, and it will happen again." I tend to think there's some truth to that. I've had a couple friends and my grandfather die this year, and as an agnostic I am processing death a bit differently from the rest of my family. I don't think of death as the ending, as a finality. I don't think there is an afterlife as most religions conceive of it. I think that in a weird way, we all live forever. We are a long way off from truly understanding the origin and ending of the universe, but we have good theories and time will see that knowledge refined into fact. This is because we live at just the right time. Remember how galaxies are actually flying apart? This movement is also accelerating. Galactic structures will fly apart faster and faster. They will eventually exceed the speed at which we could ever hope to travel. They may exceed or match the speed of light, but that means that light shining from these quickly receding galaxies will ever reach us, and no ship could ever catch up to them. They will not see cosmic background radiation, so you couldn't see them with any kind of telescope. You'd see stuff in your local group, and that's it. And you'd think that the universe is a foamy cluster of galaxies that has an ending. Future civilizations may never know the true nature of the universe and could think it finite. How young it is. People look at the universe being 13.7 billion years old and say that is ancient. That is nothing. Stars will continue to form for another 100 trillion years. Even after that, stellar remnants will exist for quadrillions of years. Black holes will still produce energy that can be used by intelligent civilizations for 10,100 years. Keep in mind, if biological life doesn't destroy itself, we will just keep getting more and more knowledge. It's probably a safe bet that within 500 years, which is nothing on universal timescales, we will be an interstellar species that has long ago transcended biology. There is no telling what our descendants will do for the remaining life of the universe. The 4-5 billion years of biological evolution of life on Earth will be looked at as an embryonic stage for endless quintillions of years of real life to begin post-biology. They will view the universe as their oyster, a place of infinite possibilities, while we are still just spending our days trying not to die and trying to avoid being punished by our brains with pain. Plenty of things. The way we perceive the universe, in its physical form, we think it's all around us, on a cosmic scale. But more than that, it's inside all of us. We're made of each and every atom that the universe is comprised of. It sounds super philosophical and like something a stoned person would say, but the distinctness within our universe is what sets everyone apart. The way each of us, made up of the same elements of this universe, yet manage to be so different. Perhaps you could say the greatest and rather miraculous thing of all is in fact, life. Hydrogen atoms in the sun don't have sufficient energy for fusion to occur. The only reason there is fusion, and thus a star, life, and you reading this, is due to the particle wave duality of matter, the probabilistic nature of quantum physics, and the process of quantum tunneling. Even though the probability of quantum tunneling is very small for any particular proton-proton interaction, somewhere on the order of 1 in 1028, or the same as your odds of winning the Powerball lottery 3 times in a row, that ultra-rare interaction is enough to explain the entirety of where the sun's energy, and almost every star's energy, comes from. If it weren't for the quantum nature of every particle in the universe, and the fact that their positions are described by wave functions with an inherent quantum uncertainty to their position, this overlap that enables nuclear fusion to occur would never have happened. The overwhelming majority of today's stars in the universe would never have ignited, including our own. Rather than a world and a sky alight with the nuclear fires burning across the cosmos, our universe would be desolate and frozen, with the vast majority of stars and solar systems unlit by anything other than a cold, rare, distant starlight. It's the power of quantum mechanics that allows the sun to shine. We are here, if by the means of a creator or by mere chance, Our solar system lives in one of the most isolated territories in our galaxy, which is in one of the most empty parts of the universe. We are essentially nothing in terms of the universe. If in fact the universe is truly infinite, then not even our own galaxy supercluster makes up even the smallest fraction possible of 0.000001%. Infinite number of zeros, which in turn is pretty much zero. The known universe that we have mapped on a chart is the same fraction as zero. Infinite is a concept that many of us cannot understand, or that we ever will. You will never reach even the smallest fraction of the number infinite. The fact that we exist, are aware of it, and many of us don't even give it a second thought is what really seems incredible to me. That despite there being countless galaxies, even more stars, and even more planets, you happen to be alive on the only one that can fully support life as we know it. Additionally, not only are you a living life form, you are also one of the most intelligent life forms ever created. And yet, here you are reading this, even though things have been trying to kill you every second of every day of every year, and they will continue to for as long as you fight it. Even with the low possibility of our planet existing, let alone you or I, here we are having a conversation about it. You are born from the remnants of a star, which became a planet which created life, eventually creating humans. Humans, which are the only thing to ever exist that has created something that has ventured out beyond the home star, that has never been observed, and you are a part of that legacy. If it really is infinite, then there's an infinite chance of everything happening right now. Right now an alien civilization has gone extinct, a star has gone supernova, etc. This one is a bit more insane, but please understand, I'm not talking about alternate realities or dimensions, just an infinite universe, meaning infinite chances of everything possible happening. If you could travel far enough in a single direction in a short period of time, you'd find another galaxy that happened to form and develop exactly how the Milky Way galaxy did. So hypothetically, there's a galaxy identical to the Milky Way, with the same Earth, with the same events happening at the same time as our Milky Way. But there are possibly other galaxies the same as the Milky Way but with different events happening. Like maybe there's a version of me committing a crime and that's the only difference. Or there's one where humanity has already died out due to nuclear war. Maybe there's a Milky Way that's a few thousand years behind the one we're living in and humans have just invented the wheel. All of this is happening right now. All of this will happen again 1 second later. All of this has happened 100 years ago, because there's an infinite chance of it happening all the time. Simply that it exists. How does it exist? Personally, I'm a Christian and it's totally chill if you aren't. But that still leaves so many questions to how the universe exists in the first place, since matter cannot be created from nothing. There are many explanations of how the universe exists, i.e. the Big Bang, but why, and how, and where did the start of existence come from? We have a short window of observation of the universe, starting shortly after we are born and ending in the few decades or less we expect to live. We will almost certainly die before we know any of the answers to these questions. The universe does not benefit from life sprawling and growing, so why do we even exist? Perhaps we simply exist to observe it. These are just a few of my thoughts. This gonna get buried, but it's still my favorite, due to the fact that energy, and therefore matter, can neither be created nor destroyed. Every single atom in the universe has existed since the beginning and will exist at the end. All of the stuff that makes up every star, planet, tree, and person was there from the instant of creation. Everything that makes up you and everyone you know has existed as long as existence in the universe is possible, and it will continue on until the universe's end. You are just a complex reimagining of the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Everyone here has some really great things. Matter becoming sentient, self-aware. That is my favorite. But then, if you really break it down, the most amazing thing about the universe in my view is that when that matter became sentient, it managed to do so in a way that allowed it to cooperate with other sentient matter. Humans are nothing more than clusters of atoms, yet we've done all kinds of amazing and horrible things, are constantly making scientific progress, and even now are setting our sights on exploring the very universe that created us. And the best part is that we most likely aren't the only clusters of atoms in the universe doing it. Somewhere where our telescopes and signals can't reach yet, there might be an entirely new planet populated by entirely new sentient clusters of atoms, going through the exact same ordeals and situations we lived through on this planet, and neither of us will know the other exists for the next billion years. The universe is so vast the same scenario could play out millions, even billions of times, yet the probability of any of these species ever even meeting any of the other species out there is so ridiculously low. So every cluster of sentient atoms will have to fill in the blanks on its own.